You've got a battery, you've got
Damn this arthritis. It's always worse in the morning. These poor old hands, they've done such a lot of work in their day. What's wrong with you this morning, Helen? I'm talking to you. There's a cap on your tongue. Oh, stop staring at me like that. The wind will change direction and you'll get stuck like that.
I'm sorry.
So you should be. You've been ignoring me since I came in.
Sorry.
You're always in such a bad mood in the morning. And you don't suffer the way I do with my arthritis.
You seem to have forgotten that I've been sick too.
I know you've been sick. Why else have I been here? But you're getting better. That's more than I've been doing. I've woken up in pain every day for the last 10 years.
I didn't know it was a competition.
Young lady, you can get to your room if you can't be civilised.
Oh, for God's sake, Mum, I'm over 30 years old. And it's my house.
Well, act your age. And don't blaspheme, you know I don't like it.
Sorry.
That's better. Did you take your pills this morning?
Of course I did.
All of them?
Of course all of them. Not that they seem to be helping much. I'm feeling worse every day. I'll call Dr. Palmer and ask him about them, check out the dosages.
I'm sure you're just a little tired, dear. I'll make you some soup for your lunch today. Why don't you give your mother a love? Don't stare at me like I just asked for something awful. Is it too much for a mother to expect a kiss good morning?
Did you sleep well last night?
Oh, it's funny that. I usually sleep so badly, but last night I slept all the way through. I hadn't expected to. That cup of tea I had last night tasted off. You need to stop buying that funny tea of yours. No knowing what it can do to someone, especially someone with my angina.
You drank the tea, all of it?
Most of it. It had a funny taste, but I thought that might be my new blood pressure pills. Some of them make things taste strange.
It's a sensu tea. It's Japanese.
Oh, those Asians. They like some strange things, don't they? The church committee went to a new Korean restaurant after the last meeting. Margaret is always dragging us off to some new place or other. I don't know what's wrong with the sandwich shop at Garden City. Nice sandwich and a cappuccino at the cafe near the food hall is just fine. Only $7 for seniors. I've heard the Koreans eat dog in their restaurants. Shouldn't be allowed. The health department...
What are you doing here?
That's the thanks I get for coming to nurse you through your illness. I suppose I shouldn't expect gratitude. I'm only your mother.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm a bit confused.
Oh, my poor baby girl. You've been so ill. Come on, give me a kiss. That wasn't so hard, was it?
No.
Are you sorry you snapped at your mum?
Yes.
Oh, there's my good girl. My sweet Helen, my little Nellie Bly.
Mom?
Nellie Bly caught a fly, tied it to a string.
Mom, don't.
String broke,
Stop it.
cut its throat. Poor little thing.
Why do you do that? I don't know how many times I've told you how much I hate that.
I used to sing it to you all the time when you were a little girl.
And I always hated it. It's cruel. It's horrible. I'm not like that.
Well, it's just a nursery rhyme.
It's hateful. I've told you and I've told you. Why didn't you ever listen to me? I mean, why aren't you listening now? Why are you here?
If what?
Unless this is our last chance to talk about everything.
Oh, I don't understand you, Helen.
No, I'm sure you do.
Oh, there's no need to be so rude to me, no matter how sick you've been. I can see you're feeling much better now, so if you don't want me here, I'll go.
No, don't go. You can't.
Make up your mind.
Isn't there something you want to talk about first? Something you want to tell me?
What's got into you, Helen?
I thought you might want to apologise.
Apologise? I've come all the way here, Spent all these weeks looking after you, even though my own health hasn't been anything to talk about.
Doesn't stop you from doing it, though, constantly.
Oh, I'm sorry if I bore you.
Oh, for God's sake, Mum. I know the only reason you came down to look after me was so you could revel in knowing I couldn't cope without you.
Oh, that's
it's true and you know it. It's got nothing to do with my needing help. You just need to feel in control. I mean, how often have I had to listen to you in the last 2 months? There, see, you still need your mother. You made it sound as though you were enjoying the fact that I was sick. You could treat me like a 6-year-old and be my mummy wummikins again.
You ungrateful bitch.
You know it's true.
You were so sick when I came here that you couldn't sit up in bed without help. I fed you and cleaned up when you were sick all over the bed and yourself, and I held you when you were frightened. You cried yourself to sleep in my arms every night for the first week. I came to look after you because I love you and you needed me.
I know. I was glad you were here.
Then why are you being so cruel?
Because when I started feeling better, you kept smothering me. I felt like you preferred it when I was helpless. You didn't even let me try to do things for myself when I was stronger.
You were too sick, and you still are.
It feels like you don't want me to get fully well, because you want to keep on being needed.
You're an evil girl.
That's what it feels like.
How can you talk to me like that?
Well, if I can't say it now, when can I? I mean, I thought that, well, if you're here now, we could talk about all those things we've avoided, all those things we've needed to say.
You don't make a word of sense. Oh, you poor thing. You look so pale. Have you got a fever again? Heavens, you're as cold as ice.
It's your hands, they're freezing.
Well, you always were a little cold with my circulation. Maybe you should get back to bed. If you're not feeling well, I can get you some tea.
I don't want any tea.
Or some soup, I'll bring it to you in bed.
I don't want to go to bed, I want to talk to you.
If our conversation so far is anything to go by, I don't want to hear anything you have to say to me.
Stop blocking me, Mum. I want to talk to you properly.
I don't see why you're so keen for us to talk now. You've never wanted to before.
Well, that was before. I just think this could be our last chance.
So, what do you want to say to me?
The truth.
I always tell the truth.
No, you don't.
How dare you call me a liar?
You don't lie exactly. Well, not always. You sort of reinvent the truth so it looks different to everyone else's truth.
I don't know what you're talking about.
How about last Christmas? You told me that Robbie had a house full of guests and I couldn't stay with him, so I had to stay with you instead.
Robbie told me he'd had guests.
He didn't mean I couldn't stay with him, and you know it. He just wanted me to stay with you.
He told me he had a house full of people and didn't know how he'd fit you
You're
in.
changing your story. That's not what you said at Christmas.
And what's wrong with wanting you to stay with me? You're my daughter.
Then why couldn't you just ask me then? You didn't have to twist what Rob was saying just to trick me into staying at your place.
I have never tried to trick anyone. Though certainly it might be what it takes to get either you or Robbie to visit me these days. I get more attention from strangers than my own children.
Yes, well, strangers don't know what you're like yet.
I've had enough of this.
Oh, no, don't go.
What on earth's the matter with you?
Are you sure you slept well?
The sleep of the just.
And you drank all of the tea?
Most of it, I told you. What's got into you?
No, it's just like I put something in your tea.
Something to help me sleep? Oh, that was silly of you, dear. Might clash with one of my other pills. What was it?
No, it wasn't. Oh, it's this stuff. Something herbal a friend gave to me. You're only supposed to use it in really tiny amounts, but I was so... You spent all night fussing and smothering me. Going on and on about your veins and your arthritis and your angina. All I wanted was a morning's peace and quiet, really. That's all, just some quiet.
What are you raving on about, girl? What did you put in my tea?
It was just for some peace and quiet. I just wanted a morning with a newspaper and a cup of chamomile without you fussing around me like some demented mother hen. Making stupid comments about the news and ethnic groups and herbal tea and your fucking health.
What did you put in my tea?
And when I looked in on you, there you were blue. I didn't know anyone could really turn blue. Blue and cold and stiff as a board.
Helen, stop it, you're frightening me.
I felt so sick, so dizzy, so I went to my room and took my pill.
Helen,
It was so strange because I was so sorry I'd done it. I hadn't meant to put so much of it in, but I did. And there you were, all stiff and dead.
Stop it.
Oh, but it was so nice too. So quiet. No incessant talking, no one fussing, no one smothering me. I think I fell asleep there for a while.
I don't want to hear it.
But here you are. And I saw your body myself, so you must be here to tell me something. You must be. I know what I saw. I'm sorry. And I'm not. How's it come to this?
I'm not dead. What a stupid thing to say.
I saw you with my own eyes. This morning, if you go down there, you'll see it yourself.
I can't be a ghost. I'm going to heaven.
Maybe this is our last chance to talk about everything.
Maybe it's your last chance. You've always been hateful to me. I'm just your stupid old mum. Your father couldn't do a thing wrong, and I could never do anything right.
It was never like that.
Oh, yes, it was. You always ran to the door to hug him hello. It was a fight just to get you to talk to me. You adored him. I adored him. He was the whole world to me, and you kids were the whole world to him. I was always on the outside.
He cared about you.
Oh, I wanted him to love me the way I loved him. I wanted you and Robbie to love me the way I loved you, the way you did when you were little. Oh, but you never did. I wasn't clever like your dad. I had to be the one who punished you when he was at work. I had to cope with the two of you all alone when he was away on business, and when I was sick. And I was sick. You think I made all that up, but it was true. But I managed. I looked after you and Robbie and made a home for your dad, even when I was hardly well enough to move.
You didn't have to be a martyr. No one asked you to be.
I didn't want to be, but I wanted to look after my family. I loved you all so much, and you'll hardly love me back at all.
It wasn't like that.
That's how it felt.
Of course we loved you.
But you loved your dad more.
He was just easier to talk to.
What did I do? It was so wrong. Why wasn't I easier to talk to?
Well, you never really listened.
Oh, what's the point? You never listened to anything I had to say either. My advice was never any good. My ideas were never any good. I was never any good. And in the end, your father just turned around and left. The one good thing in my life, and he just walked out.
Mum. I'm sorry.
All I ever wanted was to be loved. All I wanted was to love you and be loved back, that was all.
I'm sorry.
You should be. You should be. You poisoned me, my own daughter, my own flesh and blood.
I just couldn't take it anymore.
You could have told me to go.
I did. Every day I did. And you wouldn't.
Oh, you needed me. You were still sick. Your pills weren't helping you like they should. You needed me.
Yes, Mum. I did. I needed you.
Robbie, honey, can you see me? Robbie!
He can't hear you, Mum. Perhaps just it's me that can see you.
I don't want you to see me. You poisoned me. Robbie would never have done anything like that to his mum. Robbie!
Oh, leave it, Mum. He can't see you.
He can't see you either, can he? Can he? You're as invisible as I am.
Don't be ridiculous. Robbie? Robbie?
Robert McConchie speaking. Oh, hi, Mitch. No, just taking one last look around, making sure it's all locked up. Everything's tidied up now. Dad and I thought we'd just sell up. Sorry, mate. It's just hard with both of them at once. Mum was always so tough, no matter how much she complained about her health. And Helen was getting so much better.
I am Mr. Rob. I'm here. I'm right here.
I can't believe what the doctor said about it. Mum would never do anything like that.
What are you talking about, Robbie?
Sorry, mate. I'm going to have to ring you back. Sorry.
What do you mean? Mum, what's he mean?
He doesn't mean anything, dear. It's a mistake.
I don't feel like a ghost.
It's all right, son.
How can they do that to each other? I know they never go on very well, but this is...
The doctor said it may have been an accident.
What? Mum substituted Helen's tablets for hers. Helen poisoned Mum's tea. They accidentally murdered each other.
They can't have meant to kill each other. Hurt each other, maybe, but despite everything, they did love each other.
Well, that's a funny way of showing it.
I know it hurts. Helen was my little girl, my darling little Helen.
Daddy!
Dad.
Come on, Rob.
You were always his favourite.
There's nothing left to do here. Let's go on. We'll collect their ashes and take them both down to the river.
Mum always hated the river.
I never did.
You, Mum, just didn't like the mozzies.
I just hated the mosquitoes.
So, the river, you reckon?
We had some happy times here together when you and Helen were little.
I remember.
Were we happy once?
Very happy. Your father loved me, and you and Robbie loved me, and I loved you all back so much.
But what went wrong?
You grew up. You didn't need me anymore.
It happens to everyone. Mum, kids grow up. You just didn't know how to be a mother to grown-ups. To you, we were always 10 years old.
I always loved you.
Of course you did, but you never knew us.
Any more than you knew me.
You didn't want to know me. You wanted to see me as the daughter you thought I should be, not the person I am.
You're no different. I was never good enough for you. You always thought I was stupid.
I never thought that. I thought you didn't try hard enough.
Nothing I did was good enough, no matter how hard I tried.
Well, it's too late now. We're both dead. We can't learn, we can't change. That's what being dead means.
I just wanted you to need me.
I just wanted you to be my friend.
I was your friend.
No. You were my mother only. Friends are equals.
I wasn't good enough for you.
You always treated me like a little kid.
Oh, I'm not listening to any more of this.
You always walk away. You never talk.
You don't want to talk. You just want to blame me.